are you?
Well, I'm all right.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
You look great as usual.
Thank you.
I was very lucky that I think the station or the studio sent me the tape, and I got to watch last night the special. And it's really a beautiful special and a lovely tribute to Sonny. You should be very proud of it.
No, I am really happy. I worked hard on it, and I think that it's as close to knowing exactly what it was like for us on the other side, you know, behind the scenes,
right,
as anybody can ever get without actually having experienced it.
There were things I didn't know that I found out during there, like that when you guys moved in together, you were a young kid, you had twin beds and you were just friends. He said, you can move in, but I'm not attracted to you or something?
Yeah, he said, all right, he said, you could come and live in my house. I'm not really I'm not attracted to you physically, so just, you know.
Yeah.
But so we were like pals. Actually, I was like an annoyance to him. Not really an annoyance, but all the girls that lived in the building next to us, like they were all very, like that, and I was very, and so he just
Let me tell you, is better than or it's not so bad. A lot of people would like
right.
You know?
But it was before was popular.
Oh, back when was a little better.
Right.
All right, I understand. I'm just waiting for that to come in. That'd be good for me. Now, how long did it take before you guys sort of realized you were in love, and that was it a long time?
Well, until my mom found out that I was lying to her because I told her I was living with a stewardess, and then she found out I wasn't living with the stewardess because one time she came over unannounced and she found jockey shorts in the tea cupboard, and so she realized it wasn't a stewardess, and she made me come home, and that's when Sonny thought that he missed me, and then he realized that he liked me.
Yeah, and it all started right there.
Yeah.
The great thing, too, that I found out on the special was that you guys used to call yourself Caesar and Cleo.
Yes. That's how he started.
I didn't know that.
Well, because we didn't make, we made a couple of records of Caesar and Cleo. And I don't know, it just, everybody had to have some sort of, not gimmick, but be different than themselves, you know?
Right.
And so that we thought that would be a hook. That would be like the cool thing to be. And then we just decided one day, oh, it's not so cool, we'll just be Sonny and Cher.
Because they lost your luggage.
Well, yes, actually they did. We were on our way to a gig up in Oakland and with the Dave Clark 5. And so they lost our luggage, and I had this great little dress with what I thought was really cool, with a pull-away skirt, and it had like little hot pants underneath it, so the appropriate time in the show, whatever that was, I would pull away my skirt. Well, anyway, they lost it, and we had our bobcats and our home clothes, our daily clothes, and we went on in that.
Yeah, and that's sort of everybody went crazy, all the young kids.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought very touching, too, was the story about how you used to eat in this one Italian restaurant.
Martoni's, yeah.
And tell everyone that story, how they kicked Sonny out.
Well, we used to go to this place. It was really big in Hollywood. All the record people went there, and Mario and Tony owned this place. It's called Martoni's. And we used to go there constantly. And one night, this huge man tried to get into a fight with us, and he was completely out of line. He was really drunk. He was horrible, and they asked us to leave. And so Sonny was really hurt. I was upset, but Sonny was really devastated because these guys were Italians and they were his friends and blah, blah, blah. So he went home and wrote this song, Laugh at Me. And it was on the air, I think, the next day, you know. So it was difficult in those days because people looked so straight compared to us.
Right.
You know, and people were so terrified of the way we looked. They just couldn't quite figure it out, you know. They couldn't put us into any kind of a category.
And would you think the moment that defined your success for you was the Ed Sullivan Show? Was that when he called you Sonny and Cher?
Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher.
My little paisan, Sonny and Cher. My big dream to be on Ed Sullivan, and then he called me Cher. But it was, in my estimation, like, you know, proof that you were someplace, you know, that you had really arrived. I don't think we don't have that kind of a show anymore, you know, but that was, Elvis was on there, and the Beatles were on there, and everybody that was really famous was on there, along with the Little Mouse and a couple of other things.
Yeah, I remember watching that show, too, with my grandma. It's like the big highlight of the week.
Yeah.
To get to stay for that show.
And then when they started showing, like, you know, rock and roll acts, it was completely exciting.
Because there's a clip of that in the special that when you watch it, you'll see, and there's a look on your face where you look sort of startled that you're there.
I am.
You know?
I'm kind of stunned, you know. And the weird thing was that while we were rehearsing, he wouldn't talk to us. he just kind of looked at us like that, you know, and wouldn't even come near us. But then when the camera was rolling, he was really nice, you know. But Sonny and I were terrified of everybody in that position at that point because everything was much more separated. If you were in TV, you were in TV. If you were in films, and if you were on, you know, if you did music. So, and they nobody could figure out. They didn't like the way we looked, but they knew would bring in viewers. So they just used to wheel us on, wheel us out, get them out of here, and that was it.
It really is a wonderful show. It's Sonny and me, Cher Remember. It's on Wednesday at CBS. We're going to talk more about it when we get back. Don't go away. More with Cher. When I was watching last night with about 8 of my friends, all around my age in their 30s, and that part came on, and everyone in unison started singing, "She was a tramp, a gal, man up." It's so funny how it comes right back to you.
Absolutely.
The part that I was missing in the special, I have to say, my favorite, boy, we're in a pickle. Pickle!
Well, we do have it. We just didn't get to any kind of food, but Sonny's eating a huge salami. I came in with the apple, with the
candy apple, yeah.
I don't remember what Tony Curtis was eating.
He was Detective Fat.
I know.
Yeah.
And I was Tinkerbell, sweetheart.
Yeah. No, but there was another skit, too, that didn't have Detective Fat in it. That was just you guys bouncing around, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it was every episode there was some, storyline, and we'd be trying to find something. There'd be a detective or there'd be whatever, and then they'd go, "Oh, this is a fine kettle of fish."
Fish! That's right. Well, we used to do a show at school called The Senior Follies, where all the students would get together and make fun of the teachers, sort of, And that's what me and Billy Sheeran got dressed up in these big things, and we make fun of all the teachers and do it with the food, Boy, we're in a jam. Jam! Was my favorite part of the show. And it's so great to see, too, all the stuff with Chastity.
I know, it's so sweet.
It's so sweet.
When she's sitting on the vamp thing singing my song, I just can't believe it. And then she goes, she was so cute.
And it was interesting, too, how you talk about how that's what she wanted to do. She didn't want to go play with kids her age.
No.
She wanted to come to work and to do that. Was that a hard decision for you at the time, or just?
Well, I tried to put her in school a couple of times, but she hated it, I mean, she just didn't like kids very much. And I think it's because, when she was born, we took her on the road when she was 6 weeks old, and she just was around the musicians and all that. And then when we started doing the Sonny and Cher show, see, for her, it seemed like a game. You dress up in funny clothes, and Daddy runs around in a Superman outfit, and and that's for her that was her reality.
Right.
So she wanted to be a part of it. She just wanted to be hanging out there.
One thing that I didn't know that I learned from watching the show was that you guys each had your own series after the show, after you got divorced.
Yes.
I didn't know that. How long did they run?
Well, I don't know how long Sons ran, but mine I think only ran a season and a half.
And then you...
Did I ask him to come back?
Yeah, you called him up and said, "I know we're divorced, but let's do that show again?"
Yeah.
And what did the network think? What are you, nuts?
Well, no, I don't know what they thought. How networks are. You can't even ever know what they're thinking.
Right, that's true.
But I think it seemed a good idea to them because I was really not enjoying myself, and so everybody knew it.
Yeah.
So they thought it's better to have them come back and be happy and see, not have her be such a,
Such a
bitch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were such a. We're going to take a break, but we'll come back and we'll talk about remembering him and what you want people most to remember about Sonny. Well, we see Cher Remembers Wednesday on CBS, and it really is a wonderful, touching tribute to him. It really is.
It's funny. I mean, it's very funny, and I think it runs the complete gamut as far as I can tell.
No, it's the truth because it is, a heart-wrenching thing when someone dies so young and tragically like that, and especially an entertainer, and everybody feels connected in some way. But the great thing is, for the first part of it, you're just laughing and remembering how great it was. But the ending, I have to say, we were all crying. It really got us. It must have been very difficult for you to get up and give the eulogy and do it really so heartfelt and brilliantly, but it must have been painful.
It was. I mean, it's like, I've never been close. I've never had someone so close to me die, like someone where it really kind of stopped me in my tracks and just kind of brought me to my knees. And I just think that you just don't know what happened. You don't know what's really happening. You're moving your feet and you're opening your mouth and all that. But I think it's just the strangest experience. It's like when you're in an automobile accident and everything's happening very slow and very fast at the same time while you're senses don't function properly.
Do you feel it's changed your perspective at all? Because I think it's life-altering when you lose someone close like that.
I think so. I think that it has made me feel that you should make sure that all your relationships are in order and no one has, that you don't stand on any kind of false pride or he said this and she said that, you know, to make sure that if anyone's really important to you, you let them know, and I think that's one of the most important things.
To learn. How would you like people to remember Sonny, if you could choose?
Well, as a very multifaceted man, a man that was really intelligent, who liked to put on a Superman suit and go swish, swish, swish. I mean, who wasn't afraid to do that, who was really funny, and a really good father, and who had been a really good husband, too. I mean, he was a really well-rounded person, and I think that sometimes TV and images, especially if you can create a strong one, it's almost impossible to ever get rid of it.
Right.
So I think people just wrote him off as being that funny little short guy that, you know, Cher made fun of.
Right. Well, this really gives you a well-rounded view of who he was as a man and an entertainer. And I think it's beautiful that you did it. I encourage you all to watch it. I enjoyed it so much. Sonny and me, Cher remembers. And thank you very much for being here. You're doing a movie?
Yes.
Out in Italy?
Yeah.
All right, you come when it's over, all right?
Okay.
All right,
Nice
good to see you. We'll be right back.